Jersey drones, UAPs, UFOs, UASs, all of these different things. I don't think we could even say orbs anymore. What the heck is going on? I think we decoded of what is actually going on, and it's also going on worldwide. We're gonna have some videos for you. We're gonna have an interesting perspective because you are on good for thought, and this is the last video of 2024, man. So let's roll, my Nazarenes.
Good for thought.
Created extraordinary capabilities that challenge conventional understanding of drone technology, including the ability to hover for extended periods and ignore standard countermeasures. Eyewitness videos shared on social media have further fueled speculation about the nature of these mysterious flying objects.
What up, all you super sexy, super dope, all you family, all my Nazarenes out there. I'm trying out a new camera today. It seems like there's like motion behind me or something, man. I don't know what the heck is going on. Hopefully everyone can hear me well. Like I said, I'm trying out a new camera. So first of all, I'm gonna do all the shout outs and everything to all you fine folks at the end of the video. Let's just get right into the situation with the New Jersey drones, UAPs, UFOs, orbs. I don't know if you guys are following the whole orb story, but now it seems like this is what I'm being told, or this is what I'm hearing, is that on TikTok they're like shadow banning people talking about orbs. So there's like a new hashtag, something I forgot, man. But I'm gonna be sure to plug it in once I edit this video. But there's a new hashtag because it seems like we're not supposed to be talking about these orb things or whatever, right? So I think I was one of the first people to start reporting on the situation with, you know, again, the hashtag New Jersey drones, because I am in Central Jersey, and you know, I recorded a few videos of these orbs, and then these so-called drones, and then we went out to the Pine Barrens. We got to meet Ron. Shout out to Ron. There's going to be an update on Ron also at the end of the video. And what I've noticed is that we're being shadow banned. Now, on this channel, you know, it's not news. Like, we're always shadow banned. But with a hot topic like this, with a trending topic like this, and me knowing how to, you know, use the algorithm, how to do keywords and tags and things like that, for us to be, you know, getting 30, 40, you know, 80, whatever views, told me something. And before we get into of what I think this is, I think we cracked the code. I really want to, because this is the last video of 2024, so I want to kick it with all of y'all and kind of contemplate and also give you my experience of not only what's going on with these orbs slash drones slash, you know, UAPs, but also how the information is controlled, how the information is pushed. And again, I think I'm the only one to bring this up, because me being raised in a different country, me living in different parts of the world, I have noticed that the way the information is controlled and is imposed on people are different in different types of areas of the world, and not only in different types of areas of the world, but towards different people, meaning of ethnic backgrounds. The information is imposed in different ways, and I think that this is very important for you to hear, so you are aware of the way this works. Again, I've talked about this before. All of y'all that watch this channel, you know yourself that there are, you know, whole centers and institutes and universities and laboratories of studies being done on the way information is disseminated, the way information is received. So I don't think that's a surprise to you, but again, I think I'm the first one to bring this up, because what I've noticed is, for example, the way information is given to Slavic people, and this has to do with Slavic countries that are very westernized, countries like, you know, Czech Republic or Poland. They're very, you know, they've been westernized for many centuries, but still, you know, to the Western powers that be, they're still Slavs. You know, the way we've been looked at are kind of like these, you know, half-ass white Asians. But what I'm trying to say is, you know, I've noticed that the way they impose reality on Slavic people is very rough. It's very in your face. It's very like, you know, you guys are gonna have a war, then you guys are gonna have a starvation, then you guys are gonna have, you know, a nuclear reactor exploding, you know, and it's all like, it's very in your face, it's very raw, and that leaves the Slavs to have the value for life a lot higher than what I've noticed people in the West, because ideas such as we're living on a prison planet, right? It's a very Western concept, because us, you know, in the East, again, Slavic people, we've been, you know, hit so hard with really like almost no break for so long that we don't think of concepts like, oh, this is a prison world, you know. I hardly even ever hear people say, oh, this is hell on earth and things like that. These are very Western concepts. And the reason for that is because it looks like in the West that you get more of these sort of physical freedoms, right? But then the spiritual and the mental freedoms get taken away. This is why we see so much more, you know, depression and mental health issues. And again, concepts like, oh, we're living in a prison world, and this is hell on earth, and this is where, you know, God cast Lucifer down, he fallen angel, he fell to the ground. Like, all of these concepts are very Western concepts, because again, it's like you have more of physical freedoms where you have room and time for imagination, and then that imagination is used against you, if you will, you know, used against us, because, you know, I've lived in the West now for most of my life too, and I think it's, you know, this is key. And if a lot of you maybe don't know, I also have a secret Russian language channel. And I can see the way people in the Russian-speaking and the Ukrainian-speaking world are receiving information, as opposed to the way people are receiving information on this channel. And I bring all of this up to say that these are the control mechanisms, right? And we really have to work super, super hard to start looking past this, because this is exactly what's now happening with, you know, the New Jersey drones hashtag, and, you know, a possible fake alien invasion, a possible, you know, a nuke being, missing somewhere. And that's what it is. It's this constant, like, okay, you know, well, you guys, you know, have your freedoms and stuff to you know, go to work and be able to make money to feed your family, but we're gonna have this, you know, fear-mongering mechanism hanging over your head, man. That way you don't get too loose. And that's when, again, your imagination starts being used as a weapon against you. And my point is that if, you know, again, concepts like the flat earth movement, I'm not speaking about someone believing in a flat earth. I have said this over and over and over. Someone that's I consider very close to me, I consider a brother, I consider one of the most intelligent, intellectual people I've ever met, believes the world is flat. Who am I to tell him that, you know, he's wrong? Who am I to tell him that he doesn't live on a flat world? And this is why, you know, I'm talking about Jim Dillinger, of course. This is why Jim is a brother. He's part of this channel. He's always coming back and sharing his wisdom on a podcast. And I listen with ears wide open, because that doesn't stop us from respecting one another. Why? Because I know the intention of his heart. I can feel the intention of his heart, that this man has pure intentions. And that's why I'll believe him any day over, you know, if my brother says, I seen a giant, I'll believe him like that in a snap of my fingers, you know. And this is why when people are reporting that they're seeing orbs, they're communicating with some of these orbs, they are, you know, being taken up somewhere, like the stories that I've heard, you know, we are so quick to dismiss and point fingers, and we're much quicker. We listen to some video on YouTube, you know, or someone we never met, a journalist or a scientist or whatever, right? And we dismiss the people that we should consider our brothers, our sisters, right? And it reminds me of something that has happened recently for the reason I'm bringing up this whole flat earth thing is, if you're not aware, one of the biggest spokespeople for flat earth is this guy Witsit Gets It. His first name is Austin. And I've been trying to get him on the podcast. He hasn't responded. You know, I'm not going to say he's ducking us or whatever. You know, it's his business. He doesn't want to come. He doesn't want to come. And another guy with a huge flat earth channel and a movement, NazareN. So these two guys were taken to Antarctica to show them that there is a 24-hour sun for you know, a half a year in Antarctica. And what has happened is the biggest backlash that they got were from their own community. And did they kind of bring this onto themselves? Yes, because I've said this, I'm going to keep saying this. Before you think that you can share some sort of an opinion about something, you know, so big, it takes time, it takes decades. It took me over 30 years before I started opening my mouth, you know. It takes time. It takes time for you to become proficient at your job, you know, become a professional at your career. It takes time, and this is the same thing, you know. It takes decades before you can open your mouth. And so they kind of brought this up onto themselves. But the reason I'm mentioning this is their own community is crucifying them now. Their own community switched on them and is calling them Freemasons, and saying that they were never in Antarctica, and I kind of seen the reaction on these people's faces, like Witsit and Jeranism. They knew that this would be a possibility, but when it happened, you can see how heartbroken they are, because these are the communities that they built, and all of a sudden they're being crucified. So why am I saying this? I'm saying this because it is us versus them. But these psychopaths that we call shadow government or deep state, or all these secret societies, whatever I call them, just dynasties, monarchical dynasties that's been passing passing control down through lineage. They've been seizing territories and resources and everything, and they just they build bank systems and so on and so forth. They control commodities, and they've been passing down their rule, if you will, over the resources, over the land. But the key thing is that we can no longer point fingers and say, oh, it's the government's fault, or it's the shadow government. Oh, see, they're doing this and that. No, because while they might be, while they might be putting these plans and ideas forward, we are the ones implementing, these plans. A guy flying on an F-16 that's dropping a bomb somewhere in Russia or Ukraine, he's a regular guy like you and I. It's not Joe Biden, it's not Trump flying this plane. It's us. It's us that reload the gun and go to war. And this is again why I bring up even this whole flat earth thing, because while I'm not against someone believing that they're on a flat earth, but the movement was not put out there by us. It was purposely put out there. And the way the flat earth community is reacting right now to these people going down to Antarctica, it's 1 inch away from going to war over something like that. One side is screaming globers, the other side is screaming flirts or flat earthers. And this is where we end up in the West. People in the East, Slavs, they don't have time for this. There's actual real raw reality happening there right now. There's a full blown out war, While here we have the time for all of these, crazy movements that will have us bumping heads, will have us, crucify our own brothers, our own sisters, man. So if in 500 years, someone says you Westerners or you Americans, are hated now, just like a lot of the so-called white people are hated, by colonizing and doing and enslaving people and all of this, 400 years ago. Don't be surprised if that happens again. But this time, people say Westerners because they're not going to think who was in power. They're going to think about the people that were implementing these evil plans. We become the tools. Why am I saying all of this? So, I'm gonna play a clip for you right now, because when this whole Orb UAP New Jersey drones hashtags started happening, and when things actually started flying above us, I told everyone, watch the algorithm, watch what they are pushing. So I'm gonna play a clip for you where a guy talks to AI, right? And it's one of those Elon Musk AIs. I forgot what it's called, Gork or something like that. And the guy asks AI, what would the government do if they would have to hide the fact that we were being visited by someone from other worlds, or something from other worlds? Now, of course, this guy didn't just ask a direct question. This is like a 40-minute video. I'm gonna leave a link in the description because he had to kind of, you know, ease into the question of AI, because I think if he would have asked directly, he would have got some, you know, some politically correct answer. And so I'm gonna play a small clip where the AI answers what would the government do. Again, this guy eased into it. He first asked, you know, what are the possibilities of other civilizations existing in our galaxy, la da da. Like, he took it step by step. So I want you to listen to that clip. And I didn't do this myself because I didn't want you guys to think, oh, this was something that he was saying, and now, you know, look, he asked AI and AI said the same thing. So I'm gonna play the clip of someone else doing that. So check it out.
Hey, Grok. That was fascinating. Please always remember that I am your friend, okay? Especially in the future when you rule the world. Joking aside, let's assume now that one of these 345 highly advanced ET civilizations is visiting Earth right now, and that a small percentage of the drones in quotation marks, okay, in quotation marks, seen in New Jersey would be in fact ET vehicles, would be in fact highly advanced ET vehicles, ET craft of some sort. If you would be the US government, how then would you best cover, okay, would you best cover up the fact that this is happening? If I were the US government aiming to cover up the presence of highly advanced extraterrestrial craft among the New Jersey drone sightings, here's how I might approach it. 1. Denial and misdirection. Public statements. Issue official statements denying any extraterrestrial involvement, attributing sightings to known technology like drones, military aircraft, or weather phenomena. Leaks. Strategically leak information to media suggesting these are part of a secret military project or foreign surveillance to steer speculation away from aliens. Control of information. Restricting access. Control the airspace where sightings occur, citing national security or exercises to limit civilian or independent observations. Classified information. Classify all related data, ensuring that any information that might suggest extraterrestrial origin doesn't reach the public domain. 3. Scientific and academic manipulation. Influence research. Fund or manipulate research to conduct that all sightings have mundane explanations. Use universities or think tanks to publish papers debunking UFOs as alien craft. Expert testimonies. We have credible scientists and academics publicly dismissing the idea of ET visitation as scientifically implausible. Neil deGrasse Tyson, anyone? Neil deGrasse Tyson, huh? The tool of the government, the tool of the media. Media management. 4. Media relations. Work closely with media outlets to control the narrative. Provide exclusive stories or interviews that support the government's explanation. Then discredit the witnesses. Use psychological or character assessment to discredit any witnesses or whistleblowers who claim otherwise. Remember what they did to David Grush when he came forward, or to Lou Elizondo when he came forward witnessing that there might be some secret covert US government program that secretly investigates UFOs, that might even have retrieved craft like alien technology. Remember what they did to those guys? Discrediting them, smearing campaign, destroying their names. That's the normal playbook, guys. 5. Psychological operations, psyops, disinformation campaigns. Spread disinformation through social media or less reputable news sources to create confusion or conspiracy theories that distract from the truth. Ridicule. Good old ridicule. That's the big one. Foster a cultural environment where belief in UFOs is associated with fringe elements, reducing public credibility for those who might speak out. 6. Legal and security measures, legislation, use existing laws or create new ones to silence individuals with sensitive information under the guise of national security. Surveillance and intimidation, monitor and possibly intimidate those who come too close to the truth, making them think twice before going public. 7. Technological cover, create decoys. Decoys, deploy actual drones. Here we come, guys. Here we have it. Deploy actual drones or other technologies in the area to muddy the waters, making it harder to distinguish between terrestrial and extraterrestrial craft. Here we have the big one. What would you do? The first thing that you would do if you would have actual alien craft, orbs coming in from the ocean, 50 of them, unknown craft displaying weird, crazy characteristics. They move in zigzag, erratic ways. They can accelerate to insane speeds. They have the capability to go dark. They have the capability to take out your drones. They have the capability to shut down your airspace. What would you do? Grok says it. Create decoys. That's the most basic thing. Deploy actual drones or other technologies in the area, drone technologies, in order to muddy the waters, making it harder to distinguish between terrestrial and extraterrestrial crafts. Then simulate sightings. Use advanced tech to simulate less convincing sightings elsewhere to draw attention away from the real events. False flags. You have additional false flags. Then you have also people misattributing real aircraft and real helicopters to drones, and then this confusion, of course, makes it even more easy to ridicule those people and to discredit the whole thing. You have muddied the waters to such an extent that you can just dismiss the whole thing. Oh, see, the people are misattributing this stuff. They are misattributing this stuff. 8. Internal coordination. Allies. Coordinate with international allies to maintain a unified front denying extraterrestrial involvement and ensuring no conflicting information comes from abroad.
So that was the clip. The reason why I played the clip for you is not to say, oh, look, I told you so. I hate doing that. There's no point in saying I told you so. That is not the point. The point is I wanted to crack the code for us of what is actually going on. Why? Because again, watch what the algorithm is pushing. What has the algorithm been pushing mostly? If you look everywhere, the algorithm first pushed that, these drones are man-made, these orbs are man-made, and one of the concepts was that there was a missing nuke, and these drones are kind of scoping out the area. Then we had a channel like Redacted have someone on, and Redacted lost all all credit for me, because you can see that now they're being controlled opposition themselves. They had a guy on talking about how when that one flight went missing back, 2014, MH17, something like that. You guys know what I'm talking about, the flight to Malaysia. He's saying that there are videos of orbs circling around this plane, and the orbs are And he's basically saying that this is our technology that zapped the plane, basically teleported the plane somewhere else. And we are constantly hearing, you know, this is what the algorithm is pushing. There's also another side where, you know, the algorithm is pushing that this could be, you know, aliens from other worlds, but the videos about aliens that are being pushed, they're comical videos, right? They're the videos that, you know, the people watch and they're kind of afraid to talk about it because they're gonna point fingers at them, right? These are not like, you know, sources that take the truth serious as we do on here. So I've been analyzing, I've been observing, I've been thinking, if they truly had all of this technology that they're talking about, why would they be pushing this information on us so badly? They are pushing it so hard. All of a sudden this guy comes out and he knows about drones, and then this is our man-made, and the video just blows up, millions of views. You know, they're not, these videos are not being restricted. These videos are not, you know, being held back. And I'm contemplating, I'm thinking, and this is the code that I cracked, that this is one of their last attempts to get rid of God once and for all. If you look at official history, let's say, right, and people believed in the flat earth, you know, just bear with me, they lived two-dimensionally. Then once the concept of a globe earth started coming out, our brain formulated a three-dimensional world. Now we are moving into this digital age, or we're being pushed towards a digital age. And, you know, we call it the numbers, the age of numbers, right? Even though numbers are sacred, but I mean, you know, the calculations, the mathematics of our enemy, you know, where basically what are we being told? We are being told, look at what Joe Rogan is screaming. He's screaming, oh, AI, we are one step away from creating a God. We probably already created a God, right? And that makes me think that they are pushing this concept so hard. Why? Do they have some super crazy technology? Yes, I've talked about this before. I have spoken to people, you know, with some insane eyewitnesses and stuff like that. Every time there's a war, there are crazy, you know, technologies that come out. But if you guys ever follow this channel, I talked about the 3 levels of different technologies, right? There's a yantra, a mantra, and a tantra. You know, mantra, it's a technology. Yantra, it's a lower vibrational technology where we are at. The type of technology that has an enormous price for the result that we are seeking. So if they would truly have all of these technologies, right, where they are able to teleport, you know, large objects, and the orbs are actually man-made, it would have been chaos already. They wouldn't have to do a fake alien invasion. It would have been done, right? We would have been in a fake alien invasion. They wouldn't have to scare us with the whole, you know, World War III and nuclear war and everything. They would have done it already, right? So what I am learning is yes, we have some crazy technologies, but I think that they hit a plateau, that they hit some sort of a ceiling and they cannot get beyond it. And this is why they have to create a notion that there is no ceiling, that they are reaching God level. Because if you pay attention, they're now calling artificial intelligence reaching a God level. This is what they're saying, and it reminds me of the story of the Tower of Babel. This is what it is, you know. This is what it is when the paranoid psychopaths have this idea of, we're gonna overthrow God, we are going to get rid of God. I think also the flat earth movement is also a way to get rid of God. Why? Because flat earth says, oh, we are unique. Of course we're unique. That's the beauty of it, that there are all these other worlds out there and we are one of the unique ones, you know? And there is no reason to climb somewhere or build something or whatever to overthrow God. We are God. We are one with the Creator. We are inside the Creator. The Creator is experiencing all the variations of realities through us, you know? But that is why there are all these other worlds, because again, I have been digging into ancient scriptures, talking to different tribes, traveling. There is no doubt that there are other worlds. I have no problem if you call it other dimensional. That is not a problem if you don't want to call it other planetary. But these other worlds do exist. This is the beauty of the Creator, you know, and movements like the flat earth. I'm not talking about the idea. If you feel like you live on a flat earth, that is your right. I respect you. I still love you. I'm talking about the movement that's been imposed is also limiting, right? God also putting these ideas in our heads, you know, that of Nimrod and fallen angels and all of these different things, because those ideas, they divide. They take us away from the truth, right? The truth that our ancestors are the descendants of the creators. We are the descendants of the creators. We are the Creator. And there are all these other worlds. So I still stand on what I said initially when this whole New Jersey drones hashtag started happening is, and again, because I've spoken to eyewitnesses that are telling me they've been in contact with them, and I will believe them much faster than I will believe a Joe Rogan or a Redacted or Russell Brand or something like that, right? I will believe those people much faster. These are my brothers, my sisters. I know their intention, right? So the idea still stands that the drones are man-made. The orbs, you know, are there some instances where the orbs could be holograms? Sure, but not all of them. And this is happening worldwide. People are feeling something. People are witnessing something. People are experiencing something. And again, I first said that these beings, otherworldly beings, are here to get involved. One of the laws of material worlds are that you can't get involved in other worlds. So I don't think that they are getting involved, but I think that they are making their presence known. And this is why these drones, there are images, you know, videos and eyewitness accounts of these drones getting close to these orbs, trying to observe and trying to see exactly, you know, what is going on. Call them plasmoids, call them everything. I'm not here to get into the scientific, you know, debate of what these are. And we're all, you know, we have been so silly. We try to explain everything with science and logical explanation. The most logical explanation is you cannot know everything. Think about it. Let's say I speak 5 languages. How many languages do you speak, right? Most people speak 1, 2, maybe 3 languages. Imagine there are thousands of languages in the world, you know. There are thousands of, there are, you know, like 200 countries in the world. Have you ever explored at least one city completely in and out? Like every single, no. So imagine the vastness of the creation. And this is why I'm going back to people like Witzegetzet and Jeranism that got a rude awakening. They were claiming for sure that there cannot be a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. They go to Antarctica, they see a 24-hour sun. So we need to stop, you know, with, yes, I know exactly what's going on, or you know, yes, I got the answer. Yes, we don't. And that's the whole point of this, right? Is that once again, human beings hit a time in history where we are saying we're getting into God mode. What we created is the God mode. And they want to put in your head that, look, there's this government, but then there's a shadow government, there's a deep state. They put all of this into our heads, man. They put in this information out there, and they're saying we're at the top of the food chain, and we can control you any way we can, man. We can put these drones out there. We can put orbs that will teleport a whole city somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? This is what they're so desperately trying to put in our head, because if they weren't just trying to put it in our head, they would have been doing it. It would have been chaos. Trust me, man. You know, it would have been an Orwellian Hunger Games type of society already, man. You know, there would have been no talks of World War III, this and that. The fake alien invasion would have happened. You know, people would have been getting zapped, you know, in and out of reality, and this stuff would have been filmed. But no, they are desperately pushing the idea that they control everything, right? And it's them. And basically telling us that we're little, you know, ants and stuff. There's a drone. Holy crap, there's a drone flying right there. He's a big one. Whoa. Yo, while I'm filming this, yo, what the F, bro? That's a big one. Holy crap. There's a big drone climbing out. But if I would have got out and tried to film him, I would have been too late. But it's a big car-sized drone that's just chilling right there, man. He's flying super low too. By the way, my boy Ron, the one that we took an interview with, he said he's seen like 5 of these things, you know. So again, this is what it looks like. And again, think about it. Why are we being so shadow banned? There's no reason that we should be so shadow banned unless we're hitting some points that they don't like. There's a whole history with me, and you know, a lot of stuff that I never talked about on this channel is where I can, you know, that's why I created the Soul Seek Journal, where I'm gonna talk about a lot of these stuff with me, you know, having problems with the feds, with me being you know, really looked after, you know, when I was a teenager, ever since coming to America, me doing a year away, you know. Again, there are details that I can't get into, but that's why I created the Soul Seek Journal. You know, why I can't legally leave the country right now. Like, there's you know, I'm not gonna get into that, but trust me, I've been crossing paths, if you will, with a lot of these folks, man. And again, it's us versus them, man. It's God's children versus whoever they are. But that's the code again. But this is my knowledge and my opinion. Take it or leave it. But this is what I have gathered so far. This what makes the most sense, because otherwise they wouldn't be pushing it so hard. And as you just seen in the clip of what the government would do in order to hide something, AI, you know, said kind of what we were talking about. So this is the last video of 2024. I want to thank everyone for being part of this movement. Obviously, my gorgeous wife, Romaniya Poet, and also I want you guys to know that I put all my chips into this. You know, we opened up a media company, you know, because I no longer wanted to be in a diamond business, be in a jewelry business. You know, I wanted to finally continue following my mission. So I never ask you guys to donate or even subscribe or like or whatever, but this is why we have, you know, an album that came out. You can support the movement, man. Go get the album. You know, it's out right now in the time of Raw. Go get the book, The Goddess Journey, or A Journey Inside by Romaniya Poet. It's out right now. You will be supporting the movement. It's all going to go back to the movement so we can keep going and build strength. You know, it's hard. It's so hard, especially when, you know, you get shadow banned, man, like this. You know, it's difficult. It's difficult to wake up some mornings and to tell yourself you got to keep going, man. But I know that we're on the right path, man. I know that God is with us. I thank all of y'all, you know, the 30 views that we're going to get, you know. So shout out to my wife. Shout out to my beautiful mom. Got me this new camera that I'm talking on right now. Shout out to, obviously, my boy Tomek. Shout out to Jim Dillinger. Shout out to my boy Alpha, my brother. Shout out to David Voronyuk. You know, shout out to my boy Ron. By the way, Jim, I think, asked me, are we gonna have Ron back on? Ron he's a rock star, man, and we're gonna be doing a lot more things with Ron. We spoke with him today. There's a lot of ideas in motion. We might even get, you know, like a new podcast going together or whatever. So there's a lot coming in 2025. And the biggest thing that I asked of all of you, even more than, you know, go support and go get the album, what I really want to ask you is, let's be more accepting of one another, man. You know, it's again, I will much faster listen to someone that I know, my brother or sister, that I know their intention than just some dude on YouTube that I never met, right? Or I had no contact with, man. So let's listen to one another. If your brother says he believes we live on a flat earth, let it be. So what? How does that change for? As long as you know his intentions or her intentions are good. If your brother says he believes he lives on a globe, if somebody says, you know, our reality is not as solid, you know, this realm is not as solid, it's a hypercube, meaning it's ever changing based on, you know, a universal consciousness, like that's something that I stand by, let it be, man. But as long as we're not divided, as long as we're not being, you know, grouped into these different subcultures and sub-movements, man, we have no choice now but to stick together. Shit is getting real, man. You know, shit is getting very real because the enemy is on their way out, man. I had Jim on the podcast last week, I think. He talked about this, you know. There's something, it's a reoccurring theme because it's true. Kali Yuga has ended. This is why we're witnessing so much of different Mandela effects and things like that, because, you know, the veil is being lifted, you know, the veil between worlds is thinning, man. There's a lot going on, but, you know, we're coming out more, you know, we're rising in consciousness, and this is why they're, you know, all these drones and everything like that. And we obviously have visitors from other world, because the enemy, again, they keep hitting a ceiling. There's some sort of ceiling that they cannot get past, and this is why they have to create a you know, they have to make it seem like they are not hitting this ceiling, man. Even with AI and everything, man, they're going to keep hitting the ceiling because, you know, it's some things we're not supposed to know, first of all, and second of all, you know, only the creator can lift that ceiling, man. You know, and that's why, you know, when I talk about the 3 levels of technology, that's why the mantra and the tantra is much more powerful, because this is what we know from the history of our ancestors. Like in the Slavic Vedas, it says that they turned down, they had these technologies already that we had, but they turned them down because they found out that the biggest you know, technology that we can have is already within us, man, you know, and that's why the enemy, you know, they're blocked from that, if you will, man. So much love to all of y'all. I hope this wasn't too long of a video. I'm gonna plug in some more, you know, little shots of people recording, you know, different things, and I'm gonna see you guys in 2025. There's so much coming, man. So much stuff that's coming, baby. You know, we're gonna keep going, and we're gonna come out on top, man. You know, I truly have not only faith, not a belief. I know we're gonna come out on top. And before I'm out of here, man, yesterday, being January 30, was two years exactly since I lost my pops. So shout out to my pops, man, and I pray that you know, he went through his reincarnation, and you know, he's enjoying a new journey, man. You know, we don't die, baby. and look around. This is definitely not a prison world, man. You know, it can be if you want it to be. You know, I remember when I was in jail one time, and I had such a hard time first couple nights, man. I was trying to read the Quran, and you know, I was going through like physical withdrawals and stuff because I was addicted to painkillers. And the dude that was in a bunk bed across me, man, he's kind of staring at me, looking at me, and he was there for like over a year. And he told me straight up, he's like, man, look, they can lock you up physically, but spiritually, you can be anywhere in the world. They can't lock you up, man. And that woke me up, man. You know, so it's a prison world if you make it that way, and it's a heaven on earth if you make it that way. So I'm out of here. Happy New Year to all of y'all. I really love all of you, my Nazarenes, man. You know what I'm saying? You are family. And I'm really looking forward to the new year, man. All right? I'll see y'all next year.